Where have I been? I'm sick. Oh, I don't have... Why is it every time somebody gets sick now, the first thing everybody asks is, do you got COVID? You do know the flu still exists, right? People still get colds. No, I don't have COVID. Then why am I sick? Are you a moron? Do you think all other colds and like flus and stuff like that just went away and now it's just like COVID is king of all sicknesses? It's not COVID. Why are you putting your mask on? You ain't used to put a mask on. People used to get the flu. Did you used to run and get a mask? No, you didn't. People are morons. You'll put a mask on, but you'll stand right here, I guarantee, and smoke a blunt behind the next person. If I was to smoke, you'd smoke right behind me, right? That's different. You're an idiot. Why haven't I been posting? What part of I am sick don't you understand? I have a 4-year-old kid, a toddler, snotty-nosed little boy. You know, now little kids are always sick. Yeah, well, I have a whole entire virus box that sleeps next to me and breathes his boogers right into my mouth while I sleep. Yeah, you take your mask and go on. I'll start posting when I feel better. I have to be alive to make YouTube videos, so I have to look after my health. All right, yeah, we're done talking. You're a moron. I don't have COVID. Have a good day. Got to be the stupidest motherfucker. Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, and we're back. I love how people know everything, man. It's amazing. It truly is. I've seen comments on my page, other YouTubers' pages, and they have similarities. He ain't posted in a while. He's falling off. His videos are getting less and less. He's running out of content. YouTubers have lives. Like, we're not robots. We don't record and then go sit on a shelf somewhere. Like, once the camera goes off, we all have lives. As y'all seen from the intro, I'm sick. Like, I've been sick all week. I have a 4-year-old cough box that sleeps right next to me that breathes in my face all night. And any little sniffle, snot, germ he's got goes straight up my nose and into my system, and I get sick. No, it's not COVID. I got the flu. But people are quick to say, oh, he's falling off, he's falling off, he's falling off. Like, it's almost like people like prey on your downfall. It's almost like what they want to see, or they just need something to say in the comment section. Ain't nobody falling off. Even being sick, you see where I'm at? I'm at work. I'm a dad, a man, father, husband, business owner. Like, I have responsibilities. I don't get the same luxuries that some people get in the world. When it's sick, just go lay down and curl up in a fetal position like somebody's been touching you. Nah, I got to get out here and get it. Nobody falling off no time soon. I do have a crazy topic for y'all today. I was thinking on it. I was going to actually speak on being sick in prison, medical, the nurses, the doctors, the process, people passing away from not being taken care of. Rather than do all that, when I got to thinking about the medical procedures and the nurses, I got to thinking about one of these weird ass dudes, man. So I said, you know what? I'm going to drop another weird ass dudes in prison episode. There are some weird ass dudes in prison. I've seen things that I haven't talked about, that you would have to visually see to fully understand. I could tell you, but I would never be able to paint the picture to do it any justice, man. These same guys you see out here in the streets, tap dancing on the corner, and there ain't no music playing, or running and looking back behind them like someone's chasing them, and there ain't nobody there. A lot of these dudes end up in prison, and you get to watch them dance all day to music that don't exist, or talk to somebody that ain't there. Who the hell you talking to? He's not even acknowledging me, but is there somebody else in here? Some weird dudes in prison. So that's what we on now. That's what we're going to do today. I've tried to record 3 different times this week, but Man, you already know what it is. Jay Williams, let's live life, and we're back. Shit's real, man. No heavy is the head that wears the crown. Due to being sick and coughing so much, I said, nah, man. I can't do this. I'm not going to chop the video up like that. That's what we on now. Some of the weirdest guys I met while locked up. You know how to seen it. You know how to lived it. So, let's relive it. One of the last places I was at, I've talked about before, was Indian Creek. I was there for behavioral modifications. What they said. We had a dude, and if anybody in the comment section or anybody was up there with me at the time remembers this dude, chime in and let me know his name so other dudes can Google him and see who he is. I can't remember the dude's name, man. I want to say it was Ernest or something started with an E. But this was a big dude. Linebacker big dude. There's a reason he was so big. A, he was born like that. That being the biggest reason. And B, he had worked out. In meeting this dude, he was definitely one of the guys that falls in the category of he shouldn't have been there. He should have been somewhere in a mental hospital. He should have been somewhere getting psychiatric treatment. Now, he's in prison behind drug charges, crack cocaine being his choice of drugs. He would do groups, and he would always talk about how he smoked rocks, things that happen when he smoked rocks. But he never really talked about his occupation, never talked about what he did for a living or how he made his money or high school or anything after that. He just talked about situations with him smoking rocks, right? You don't listen to so much of that shit. You done heard it a million times. I overhear the guards talking one day, and they're in the control booth, and they've got, their computer that they use that's in the prison, and they can also go online. And I see them, and they're watching football. And I'm kind of eavesdropping. I done talked through the chokehold several times and asked them for something, and they hadn't acknowledged me, but I could hear them talking. So I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? What is he watching? And I look, and they're watching football. And then I see the guy's face pop up that they're looking at. And it's this big crazy son of a bitch that smokes crack. I hear the guards talking later on in the day. They're out front of the building coming back from chow, and I saying two guards out there, people coming in, they're shaking them down. They stop the big dude. Hey, you play football for such and such? Yeah, you play football. This dude played like professional football? I told you that was him. So he does a group one day. Now it's to come out that this dude was like this big football player who threw his whole career away behind getting high, right? He does a group one day and he gets into the whole how he ended up in prison and how he used to play football. Mind you now, when I met this man, his brain was working at the capacity of probably a 12-year-old's. Said he played college football. He got drafted, was going into the NFL, and he got this big ass check. All this money was given to him on the draft. He still got some time before, he goes into the NFL. It's not like you get drafted and tomorrow you start playing football. There's a little time in between that, but he gets this big ass check with all this money. Said he had always snorted powder here and there. He said where he come from, there's a lot of poor people. People snorted powder, people smoke crack, but he never smoked crack. He said, I just snorted powder. He saw he got a hold of some powder that was cut up with whatever, and he got his nose all infected. So he's got a coke habit, but he can't snort the powder. He said, I tried different ways of trying to get high. I even considered eating it, but I was afraid I was going to die. Somebody introduced him into smoking it. They broke it down to him. He said, they told me, what's the difference in smoking it and snorting it? It's the same thing. It is the same thing, but it's not the same thing. You've ever seen somebody snort powder and how they react, and then they turn around and smoke rock and see how they react? It's the difference between night and day. Some people act the same either way, but some people can truly just snort powder and be one way, hit a rock, and just become somebody different. So he said he gets turned on to smoking it. Still hasn't entered the NFL yet. Nose is all infected. He said he's been smoking for a couple weeks now, and this is a day in, day out thing. And now with this money, he's able to buy large amounts of it. Said he's in a hotel room one night with a bunch of females. I'm thinking they're like crackhead females. That's what you think when you think of crack. He's like, no, these are bad chicks up in the room with us. They know I got all this money. Like, these are dime piece chicks. He's like, so I'm kind of ashamed of what I'm doing, so I'm going in the bathroom and smoking. Everybody else in the room is snorting, and there's a couple other people sliding in the bathroom smoking. He said, I take a big hit, and that was the last thing I remember. When I wake up, I'm in an ambulance. Whatever powder he had been getting, or that had infected his nose, whoever he was going through getting this stuff from, they cooked it up, and whatever they cooked up with messed him up. He fell and hit his head on the side of the tub of the bathroom, and it changed his life forever. He got dropped from the NFL. There would be no football, anything going on anymore. What money that was left behind got taken. If you can't go out there and play football, you damn sure don't get to keep the money. So he's back to being broke. No longer playing college ball. Said he was in the hospital for a while. He damaged something to do with his brain when he fell. And that would be the end of his career. So now he's still got this habit. So he gets out the hospital. A couple months have passed. Goes back to his neighborhood. It's ha-ha, funny. You thought you was the man with your new car and all your money. Police up the street messing with somebody. We over here beside Hillside Court. One of the projects in Richmond working. Said he goes back to the neighborhood and it's ha-ha. All the dudes that was congratulating and happy for him, now everybody's kind of like laughing at him. But he's messed up in the head. He's not the same. He ends up in prison with us, telling us his story. Started stealing. He said, I got to continue to support my habit. I ain't never really worked no job. This is a big man. He said, I go out and I start stealing, whatever it may be. I'm stripping copper out of houses. I'm stealing out of cars. I'm breaking in houses. I end up getting caught. When he gets caught with a bunch of crack on him, a bunch of drug paraphernalia, and gets sent off to prison. That's not the weird part about this dude, right? That's just some backdrop on who the dude is. I pray somebody could jump in the comments section and say his name. I'll do another video and show some highlight reels if you can find this, if you can think of what I'm talking about. He goes on to, tell us all this, and we're like, damn, man, I knew dude was big, like Jolly Green Giant big, like John Coffey from, Green Mile, big dude. We're sitting in group one day, and he keeps going to the bathroom. When I say sitting in group, like, when I didn't work in the warehouse, they used to make us, I'd have to sit in these chairs with everybody else and listen to dudes talk. And on this particular day, we don't have no warehouse that day. We're not going over to work, so I had to participate in this group. And I keep seeing this big son bitch get up and go to the bathroom. Well, the wall in the bathroom is about 6 foot tall. And then it's open above that. It's got these little Western style stall doors that swing open, right? And then it's a half wall. It's not a full size wall, but it's like 6 foot tall. He's so big that when he stands up at the wall, you can see about this much of his face above the wall. So the counselor's talking, and we're sitting there, and I keep seeing something on my peripheral, and I look over, and all I see is this. Dude is peeking over the wall. I'm like, what the fuck is this dude doing? He's not looking at me, he's looking at the counselor. And as I look over and again, I see his head moving. I'm like, yo, no, he's not, man. No, he's not. Somebody else gets up, goes in the bathroom. When they go in there, like, come on, man, with that dumb shit. They kind of make a little scene. Shh, don't say nothing. Get out of here. They leave out. The man is behind the wall, staring at the female counselor, and he's beating his meat, right? He does this throughout the whole day. He would, I guess, finish doing what he was doing. He would come out and sit down and look at guys and smile like a 10-year-old. And other guys are looking at him now like, weirdo, man. He gunning down the counselor while we in the middle of the group. Like, all us dudes sitting there, you 10 feet away from us, you know what I mean, jerking your pud. 10, 15 minutes would pass, and dude would get up, go back in the bathroom, and go back to doing his thing again. Now, it's become obvious that you got to pee, you got to use the bathroom. Ain't nobody about to walk through that door knowing that when you walk through that door, there's a man standing there right beside the door peeking over the wall with his pants down, and he's doing stuff he shouldn't be doing. Dudes got to pee, dudes got to poop, they got to do different things, and don't nobody want to go in the bathroom. Not to mention, dude is a behemoth. He's not the type of man you want to, even though he's mentally like a child, not the type of man you want to run up and get conflict with, because if he decides to snap out, he can pick you up one hand, choke you to death, and slam you, right? Every single time I would come in, I'd be at work and I'd come back early. I'd come in, I'd look, his chair would be empty, and he'd be over in the bathroom doing the same thing, right? So one night, it's probably late at night, man, late, 2:30, 3 o'clock, I'm assuming. And they had these red lights in the ceiling they used to leave on. Just a big red light. So it would leave, it wasn't bright in the dorm at night, but that red light gave the guards enough light to see if something was happening. You know, there were little dark areas where you could move around, but that red light stayed on both lanes, both aisles, all night long. Guard comes in one night, sees something in the bathroom. This. Dude's in the bathroom, staring at the officer in the control booth, and he's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Guard walks in there, what are you? Come on, man. I know you're not gunning down the CO. No, it ain't even what it looked like. It's just, by now, we're all waking up because the commotion is going on. Like, damn, caught dude gunning, right? They take dude up out of there on a gunning charge. They bring him right back in. Now it's known that he's off in the head. He's this ex-football star, smokes crack. He's a gunner. He's going to gun. He's going to gun. He's going to gun. The next time he would get caught would be in group. We're all sitting there and just listening to the counselor talk. And they know now that when he goes to the bathroom, what he's doing. So everybody's watching him. He comes in that day and he's got this blue penitentiary jacket on and the inside line is orange. He's sitting there and he takes his jacket off and lays it in his lap. And I guess he thinks that nobody else can see what he's doing. And he's not sitting all the way in the back. He's like over to the left, midway of, maybe 10 rows of chairs. He's in the middle, all the way to the left. And he's sitting there with a jacket on his lap. And you can see his body moving. You can see his body moving. The guard in the booth sees what he's doing. He's staring at the counselor. Going at it. She bangs on the glass. Bang, 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 bang. In front of everybody. Points at him. You, stop. Like he ain't doing nothing. She warns him. Officer comes in, looks over at him. By now, he's pulled his hands up above his jacket and is just sitting there looking around like he ain't done nothing wrong. Like, she's tripping. I just got my jacket in my lap. I ain't done nothing. Officer goes to the back door. Well, you can go out the back door to go to rec. She pops the door. Officer pushes the door open and lets the door close. When you hear the door close, you think the officer's left the building, right? Dude gives it a couple minutes, looks back, don't see no officer. The officer's done cut through the other side, like through the bunks, and it's standing where the washing machine and dryer is, and it's just standing there watching us. Dude don't see the officer. Dude goes right back to what he's doing. This is a sergeant. Sergeant creeps up beside the chairs, walks up beside him and snatches the jacket off his lap. He wasn't holding no Heisman trophy. That wasn't the football he had in his hands. Get up, pack your stuff, you're going to the hole. There he sat in the middle of the group, 40 plus men, maybe 30 on a slow day, surrounded all around him. One female counselor up there talking, and in the midst of 30, 40 men, he sat there and proceeded to masturbate with a jacket in his lap. It ain't bad enough you done lost a gift that God gave you, a career that most people could only dream of, which is being in the NFL, playing college football, having the size, the skill, the agility, all the different things that come with being able to be an NFL college football player. You've lost that. You've injured yourself behind smoking crack and now have the mindset of like a 12-year-old. You've ended up in prison behind your addiction, lost everything, and your newfound talent is masturbation. They packed him up, took him up out of there, and they moved his nasty ass to the other side of the yard. Outside of what he would do when the females came in, friendly guy. But in talking to him, he always laughed. Even when things weren't funny, he'd be laughing. You're like, ain't nobody said nothing funny. What the hell's he laughing at? Definitely a weird individual. To sit amongst that many men, to sit amongst one man and do something like that is just weird. But to sit amongst 30, 40 men, knowing they all know exactly what you're doing, is beyond weird. That's bush hopper status, sex offender status. That's, y'all need to reevaluate his brain, because he might have lost one gift, but he swears to God that there's nothing wrong with what he's doing. Now, with what y'all just heard, I'm sure y'all like, man, y'all should have whooped his ass. Y'all should have. Let me tell you something. One thing you're going to have to accept and come to terms with when you get locked up that you're not used to are gunners. A gunner is a chronic masturbator. That's somebody that when the female ain't looking, he's pulling. Some of these guys swear to God that man, she be eating it up, man. She be staring at me the whole time. Some of these guys are convinced that the females are watching. Some of the females do watch. I have seen female guards that got off on men going in the showers and watching them. But for most, I would say 95% of the female guards, the counselors, they're not aware of what's going on. And you find out real quick, they're not aware of what's going on the moment they become aware of what's going on. I've seen them be sitting there doing their job in the control booth. Somebody be in the shower, and they look over at the shower and be like, this son of a bitch. This lady's in the booth completely dressed. Somebody's grandma. She can be 300 pounds. She can be 103 pounds. She can be shaped just like a man. But because she's got a female's head on her body, somebody's in there burning her ass up. Somebody's in there gunning her down. All those officers pretty much, if you ask me, unless it's like a bad female, most of them look the same in the uniform. The uniform really doesn't do them any justice. It's not like you see on TV when a female puts on the uniform and the breasts are poked out, the butt's all big. For the majority of them, when they put on that uniform, like, everybody looks the same. Gunners is common. I've seen spots, especially Indian Creek, I've seen it up to 5-6 guys in the bathroom, all peeking over that wall on their tippy toes, side by side, doing this. It was never something I indulged in. I come to understand the moment that I got locked up and they put handcuffs on me, the sex was going to have to go on the back burner until I got home. I'm not gay, so that's not an option. With not being gay, that means, I'll do what I do in the privacy of my cell or in the shower when nobody's looking with my back turned. Like, if I'm in a single shower, I'm not going to do it in the shower with 5 other men. That's just some creepy ass shit. I always preferred the cell because then I could shut the door. It's privacy, just like in your 10, 12-year-old little boy in your bedroom. Your mama comes in, what are you doing? Nothing. You know what I mean? You could do that in the cell. You're going to deal with that in prison. Just like eating potatoes 3 times a day. Nothing you can do about it. But tell you what they told everybody else. If you don't like it, don't commit crimes. If you don't like it, make bond, go home. Once you get to prison, ain't no bond. So keep your dumb ass out the lockup and you won't have to deal with old Jolly Green Giant peeking over the wall. Now, the way the phones are set up in prison is different from how they are in jail. In jail, you got money on your account. You can pick the phone up at the time and you could just dial whatever number you wanted. Might dial the wrong number. We called it phishing. Somebody might pick up. Oh, man, you got somebody on the hook, somebody on the line. Some weird people in the world that are actually answer a call from an inmate. They don't know. Never talked to you in their life. They're bored. They talk to their cats all day or eat cat food or whatever the case may be. I've seen plenty of guys strike by just sitting on the phone and dialing random numbers. I guess people in the real world got tired of being harassed, got tired of the guy that beat them up, calling home and trying to talk to them. It happens. Guys will assault a female, then go to jail and call her and tell her how much they love her. I'm sorry, please drop the charges. Nah, I ain't mean to. Look, come on, please. You get tired of that. So they came in with the phone list. The phone list is a paper you fill out that you can put a certain amount of numbers on, and those are the only numbers you can call. Now, just because that number's on your list don't mean you can call. An automated call is going to be made from the company, Global Link, different companies that run these phone services, telling you an offender is trying to have your number added to their call list. Are you the owner of this phone? Do you have the rights to make decisions for this phone? Say your name. And if you out here in the real world say yes to all that and accept all that, Now that guy can call you. There was a brief period in prison where you could still fish on the phone. Before they came in with the phone lines, came in with the phone list, you could just dial. And eventually somebody's going to be like, damn, who do I know that's locked up? Let me see who this is. Hey, look, you don't know me, but you should get to know me. I'm a good guy. Yeah, man, I'm in here for something I didn't do. You got a couple minutes to talk to me? I've seen it happen. Next thing you know, dude's got somebody coming to visit him. Next thing you know, this lady's sending him money. This man's sending him money. Who knows? It happens. I seen a fight break out one time, and prior to this, I didn't really pay the guy that got into the fight much attention. Only thing I really knew about him was he was always on the phone. He would hold the phone line up to the point that several different occasions I'd heard dudes tell him, hey, man, if you click that phone one more time, we'll go upside your head. Like, you've been on the phone all day long. Nobody waiting on you no more, man. Like, either get through and talk to somebody or let the next man dial his number. You done dialed 700 numbers and you ain't got through on the phone. 3 or 4 different occasions I've seen this happen with this dude, right? Every day I come out my cell, he's on the phone, he's talking. Later that evening, I go in my cell, I look over, he's on the phone, he's talking. We come out at nighttime, pod opens up, we're going about our activities. He rushes over to the phone, he's on the phone talking. He was a phone rider. I was a phone rider at one point, and then it started messing my head up, started messing my bed up. I started to realize I can't control shit out here going on in the world, stay away from the phone. Some caused me to have an attitude because of something I heard I didn't like. Now I've got to deal with all these dudes in here. I get an attitude with one of them. Next thing I know, they're stabbing me in the head 130 times with their knife. Dude continues to ride this phone. Holiday seasons are approaching. More dudes need to use the phone. That's when you're going to see the phone use increase. Certain holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve. Anytime a holiday's coming up, guys try to get that phone call out the way. All right, man, I know it's going to be 100 people on the phone tomorrow trying to call home for Christmas. I'm going to call on Christmas Eve. That way I ain't got to battle the phone line. I come in from work one day, go to my cell, change out my clothes, put on my sweat shorts, grab a white tee, towel, washcloth, my little shower bag. I'm headed to the shower. I hear commotion. Look over at the phone. Dude that's always on the phone is rumbling with another dude named Scooty B in our pod. Scooty B and the dude that's on the phone are rumbling. Scooty B's got him upside the wall and is just giving him business. Scooty B ain't no small dude, man. He's definitely got that physique, that body, that build that you can only get in prison. You ever seen somebody, you look at them, you be like, damn, he works out. You ever seen somebody come home from prison? You don't got to know they come home from prison. You look at him like, damn, he just got out of prison. Scooty B had that prison build. Putting the prison hands on him. Beat the shit out of the dude up there by the phone, right? They take them both to the hole. Nobody's really mad about it because both of them rode the phone religiously. Now the phone just opened up. Shit, that's 8 hours a day now that everybody else gets to use the phone more, right? Dude comes back in the pod. Scooty B gets moved over to 8 building. Dude goes right back to using the phone. More altercations happen. He's not respecting the phone line. He's not respecting dudes in there. He didn't even respect that ass whooping that Scooty B put on him, which was a serious ass whooping. Scooty B did him dirty, beat the hell out that boy by that phone, right? I'm on the phone one day, and I'm sitting there, and I'm not trying to listen to what dude's conversation is, and I'm talking, and dude is talking, and after about 2 or 3 minutes, I realized something. He's not really talking to anybody. You know how I do the intros to my videos where I make it look like I'm talking to somebody? That's what he's doing on the phone. I think what he was doing was he would pretend to use the phone. That way couldn't nobody come up and be like, hey, man, you ain't dialing no numbers. Let me just get the phone. He would sit there for 20 minutes. Nobody on the other end. Oh, yeah? Oh, that's crazy. Hey, what up, Jay? Yeah, man, yeah. How mama doing? There's nobody on the phone. He would wait 20 minutes, be watching the clock, and there's nothing there. It's just blank. And after about 20 minutes, he dial another number. He was dialing random numbers. Dialing numbers he knew, numbers he didn't know, trying to fish, trying to call back people he's done bugged so many times that They no longer answer the phone. But the man was sitting on the phone for hours at a time, talking to absolutely nobody. I went back and told Twin, I said, yo, old boy that Scooty B beat up behind the phone. He was like, yeah. I said, yo, I don't like dude, man. What'd he do to you? Well, he's weird. What'd he do to you? The man is on the phone talking to nobody. What? He's on the phone talking to nobody. Look at him. Bro, he's talking to somebody, his mouth's moving. Nah, man. I was on the phone beside him, sitting there listening, and I'm not trying to be nosy, but the phones ain't what about. I mean, if you move your elbow, you can bump the man next to you. He's right there beside me talking. And I can tell by the way he's talking that that's not a real phone conversation. It's like a skit. Like, he's not talking to nobody. Twain goes out there, pretends to get on the phone next to him, and is like, dialing numbers and stuff, trying to call people. He's more or less just listening. He comes back, he's like, yo, dude is crazy, man. He's like, dude's really not on the phone. I think it was maybe about 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks before he got his ass whooped the second time over that phone. I can only hope that there was somebody on the phone when he got his ass whooped the second time. He didn't come back after that. But this dude, just to hold his spot on the phone in hopes that somebody might answer today, would sit there and have 20-minute long, because that's how long your phone call is, imaginary conversations with people that did not exist. And when that 20 minutes is up of him watching the clock, to everybody else it appeared he just had a 20-minute phone call. He would dial the number again. Sometimes he dialed it 5 or 6 times. Figure, if I keep dialing these numbers, they're going to tell me I need to pass the phone. So I'm just going to pretend. And if somebody says something, like, hey, yo, I got to call him back. And he'd try again. You can't make this shit up. How weird do you have to be to sit there all day long? Maybe, if you're lucky, have one 20-minute phone call, and the other 8 hours of you being on the phone was you just talking to nobody. Weird ass dudes. I just realized it is Friday. So as y'all know, that means it is payday. I gotta get this money, gotta get the guys paid. I was gonna tell you about Kung Fu. I'll save Kung Fu story for another time. How you gonna have a name like Kung Fu and can't fight? We watch you practice martial arts every single day. You don't talk to nobody with your weird ass, and you really can't fight. We'll get into that another time. Depending on how I feel this weekend, we might go live. I'm hoping today is the last day of the sickness, of the payao, of feeling this way, of sounding like I ate a damn frog, sounding like that little boy from Little Rascals. My voice comes, my voice goes. But here we are. But depending on how I'm feeling, we might go live this weekend. If so, I'll notify y'all beforehand. I hope to see y'all there. You know I love all y'all. Thanking each and every one of y'all for the support. But anyways, these jails, detention centers, penitentiaries, facilities, they're all just crazy worlds inside of this already crazy world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to keep y'all entertained. Are you not entertained? And that was hard to do. And like always, this is Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Man, y'all know how we do. Salute. Some bitch was peeking over the wall. Then he would come sit out there with everybody with the jacket on his lap. He was born a crack baby. That's what's wrong with you. He was meant to smoke crack. You big, dumb bastard. You got to be the stupidest.